about connecting with learners on TVET and to make online learning a little more fun. Whether you do presentations at work or you do presentation in the classroom, you may find this session interesting, as it may teach you a thing or two. If you're teaching in the classroom, in the iSchool system, we're absolutely certain that this will also be useful to you. So without eating into the presenter's time, thank you once more for joining. And Mr. Bernard, over to you. Mr. Bernard?
Sorry about that. I was having mic issues. Is everyone hearing me clearly?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. All right, guys. So welcome again to our GOMEX Lunch Hour TVET webinar series. And as you can see on the screen, our theme is TVET Reimagined for a Sustainable Economy. Now, for today's session, we'll be looking at a concept called Open Flexible Network Learning. Ideally, we want to not go too much into that paradigm or concept, but we just want to take a little look at the segment, right? Just to focus on some of the collaborative tools to enhance teaching and learning. So the first thing we're going to look at is something called a Padlet. Does anyone ever interacted with this collaborative tool before? Is the first time you're hearing about this Padlet? Can you just raise your hand? Thank you, Mr. Lance. Let's get them through.
You can go ahead, Mr. Bernard.
Again, we're just looking at the open flexible network learning. What I want to look at is that we often use this concept as learning technologies or even course design in higher education, normally to seek or use digital tools and learning environments to improve teaching, right? Are normally target audience for open flexible network learning. Now, as it relates to Padlet, right? What is Padlet? So we can consider Padlet as an online bulletin board, right? And it has many features that a traditional bulletin board might never include. So as a lecturer, as an educator, as a training facilitator, whatever walk on earth you are, when it comes down to instructional design or even presenting information, you can use Padlet, right? It allows trainees, attendees, the teachers to submit text, photographs, video files, links, or anything, right, into any digital content. Now, if the board owner, as a teacher, permits, other users may see, right, the post or comment on, or even vote on the post. Now, you may modify the backdrop. You can create your own layout, right, use your fonts, color schemes, and everything that comes on to utilizing this Padlet. Now, when it comes on to the K-12 strategy or persons who are involved in teaching children, right, pedagogy, Padlet's simplicity of use, especially for young children, is one of the greatest advantages for the instructors, right? So it's compatible with desktops. You can use it on your mobile phones, laptops, Chromebooks, iPads, whatever digital device. Once it has internet access and can go on a web browser, you can use this Padlet. Now, what I might add is that teachers have a choice over whether students' donations are made with their names attached or even remain anonymous. So I know I'm talking a lot, and you guys want to see things, right? So let's look at 10 classroom uses of the Padlets. So the first one we have is interactive lesson plans, right? Interactive lesson plans. And I'm going to switch screen to show you how we can use the lesson plans, right, on this wonderful software. Now, we all know what a lesson plan is, right? It's just a guide that teachers use to facilitate a lesson. All right, just get in a bit. Let me switch screen a bit. if you're seeing my Padlet coming up. Does everyone see my screen? Want me to visualize or zoom in a bit? You see it? Awesome. So as I said, as
We're
teachers,
seeing
we
it.
know what our lesson plans are, right? And sometimes they can be very tedious to complete. And sometimes as teachers, we might not even show our students the lesson plans. But what if we could have used this collaborative tool, right? And try to enhance our lesson plans and even put it into a forum to allow students to access it and then even guide our lessons. So look at this one. Let me zoom in a bit. Because I'm old, I can't see everything like you guys. So this is the Padlet feature, right? And this is using the Canvas template. It allows you to create map ideas and link ideas together. So you put your objective of the lesson right there. And for this lesson, it's all talking about proofreading and editing documents. So you put your objectives at the first part here. And this is just allowing the teacher now to allow the students as well to see what kind of path they're going to use, right, to reach their goal or reach their objectives for this lesson. So we have the editing tutorial, right? You could have interactivities, put your objectives on this panel, and then let's say you want to place a document for them to review and understand how to do proofreading, right? You can easily add your document links, web pages, video files on this forum, and you can actually see the path of the lesson. So the first thing the teacher will want the students to do is actually look at the chart, right? And it's actually saying there, review the chart for standard proofreading. And you can actually take the chart and it pops up like that. And you can look at the concept. So it's showing you how to do proofreading. These are some of the symbols you use when you're proofreading and editing documents. So you see right there. But I'm not going to teach this. I'm just showing you different ways you can interact. Then the path goes to the next part. I think we could have actually used numbers to indicate a different order, but just follow the path, it helps. So there's an example. And they say below is an example of a written letter that contains several writing errors. So after the children or the students or even your adult learners read through the marks chart, then they're supposed to go to the letter or the sample letter, look at it, and try to edit the portion in the marks chart. Then you have the essential knowledge, skills, attitudes. Now this was taken from a more foreign approach, but we know we use our KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude, and we have put it all that. So it's actually showing you how or what are the students supposed to do to basically access the different knowledge domains. All right. And it's giving you all the activities they can do. So isn't this a nice little way to, enhance your lesson plans or even make it fun between the teachers and the students? So this is a nice feature we can do. And then there's a worksheet. Try to find it. Are you seeing the worksheet? I can't see the chat. And just open your mic. Is everyone seeing the worksheet? And you're seeing it? Awesome.
Yes, we are.
And you realize how, as teachers, we can set up this forum to just use the lesson plan to guide us and even put in our activities at one space. So no longer with the chalk and talk and even using PowerPoints all the time, right? Yes, we can use Zoom, we can use Google Meet, but let's try to enhance this. All right, here's the worksheet, it pops up. So let's look at it. See it sometime. Worksheet is there, they can edit things on there, they can download the worksheet or even print it or even type on it and give the answers, send it back to the teacher. All right, how do you feel so far about the interactive lesson plan?
I like it. I like the approach. It allows for the integration of technology.
I'll take two more before we go to the next one.
I noted Mr.
Oh,
Martin,
Miss
Miss
Green.
Green had raised her hand.
It's a welcoming approach, Mr. Bernard.
Quite interactive.
Quite interactive.
And as fellow educators, do you guys see yourselves using this in the classroom in the future? Oh, go ahead,
Definitely,
Ms.
because
Todd.
it also with I'm saying definitely because it also brings sense.
I don't know if my internet is going out, but I didn't hear everything that you said clearly. One more time.
I'm saying definitely because it with the student as well.
All right, I'm trying to catch on, but if you can type in chat, that helps because I'm still hearing muffled noises. All right, so this is basically the first part, just to let you guys have an idea on how to create them. Right, or not create, but how to, enhance your lessons. Are you ready for the next one? So for the next interactive session, we have brainstorming and sharing ideas. Let me know if you're seeing my screen. Awesome.
Yes, we're seeing it,
So
Mr. Bernard.
let's
Go on.
say we want to do some concept mapping or brainstorm ideas. Facilitate discussions in the classroom. So, for example, I created a simple one there. I just put on traditional classrooms versus learner-centered classrooms. All right. And what this would have done is you place two concepts as a teacher, or concept, and then you basically allow your students to just brainstorm and give ideas. What is traditional classrooms? Tell me something about it. And then you can even add, right? And then link it to the board. So for example, I just want to put in chat, just give me some pointers or some information on the learner center class.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bernard. Mr. Bernard, your audio is a bit distorted. Do you have two windows open at the same time?
Yes. What are you?
It seems like you have two windows open and they're talking into each other.
No, I only have this open. I don't know what's the issue. Is it still choppy? Go ahead.
A bit, but you can go ahead.
What I want to do for me is to just go into chat and just give me 2 points on a learner-centered classroom, and I'll add it. But for the interest of time, I'll allow you guys to basically join and give your input. But just put your points in chat, and I'll add about 2 of them and show you how to link it, right, on the platform. So you can put one for traditional classroom, put the next one for learner-centered classroom. You guys hear me?
You're
Hello? Give me a second. Let me try this.
You're right. Your microphone is a little bit distorted, Mr. Bernard.
I'll rejoin. I think it's my mic.
But go ahead, Mr. Bernard. Go ahead.
Give me just 30 seconds to switch my mic. Are you hearing me?
A little better.
Do I sound a little better? Awesome.
Way better, Mr. Bernard.
All right,
Go
so I
ahead.
was saying that we're doing the brainstorm feature, right? And what we can do on the platform is to just put on concepts or ideas and allow the students to just, give their pointers or facilitate learner discussion. So I put on 2 pointers or 2 concepts. One is traditional classroom, another one is learner-centered classroom.
So I was saying, for the interest of time, because I would have asked you guys to join the platform and try to give your points. But for now, just put at least a point in the chat and let me show you how to add a post and then connect it to the concept. So put one for learner-centered classroom and you can put one for traditional. So we have about 2 minutes. Drop that in chat right now. All right, I'm seeing one from Champion Holding. Let me copy it. All right, so when you're adding your post, there's a little indicator with a plus sign there. Click it. And once you, this is when you want to input something. So you can add your picture, link, files, whatever you want. So let's put the post that you put there, copy it there, and you just click publish. All right, now that's the learner's input. Now we want to connect this one. So all we do is click the 3 dots, look to connect post, and it's simple like that. Connect the post. Following me? All right, I see the next one, Latoya Clark. For the learner-centered classroom, the teacher is a facilitator. Lovely. Let's add the next one. Put the post, publish it. And we connect it. There you go. Now, if you wanted to see, let's say we logged in, right? And you want to see the persons who give their attributes or their comments. You can easily turn on the editing feature or settings, right? Click this, turn it on, and you can see the persons who post. But this means they have to log into their Google account or the account they signed up to Padlet for, so they can see their names. All right. I took off my name just for this activity. All right. If you want them to comment on the post, or let's say you're the teacher, you want to comment on it, turn on comments, save it. Or even, I think there's a next one. Let's say you want to like it as well. Put that there, and you save everything, close it. So this is from Latoya, right? And as a teacher, you just want to make a comment, you can say, great job. And you submit your comment, and you close it. And it won't be showing on the screen there, but you'd have to click the comment button. So do you want to do that? You go through it there. And you can even like and show, just give some input. All right, so this is just a little brainstorm activity where you can do some concept mapping, right? Facilitate discussions, you name it. How you feel about this one? So instead of normally going in your PowerPoints or just, brainstorming via Zoom or Google Meet or just talking about a topic, let's interact on Padlet and facilitate better discussions. All right, so give me your insight on this one before we move to the next one. How do you feel so far? So we did the interactive lesson plan, and now we're doing brainstorming activities. You can type in chat or just open your mic. All right, so we have to move on based on the interest of time. So let's look at our next one. Please repeat. All right, Latoya, what do you want me to repeat per se? Okay, you already added your info, though. So I asked you guys to post your ideas or just give some input on one of these points. So that's what I was asking. You already did that. All right, so for our next one, we can actually use the Padlet platform to actually conduct surveys and even vote. Now, I'm a foodie, so I took the time and found a nice little Padlet that talks about that talks about which of your fast food chain has the best burger. All right. Let me just drop this in chat. That's for the fun. Let's say you want to interact now. So you can look in the chat, there's a link. Once you click this link, it will carry directly to my Padlet, and you can just click like or pick one of the burgers that you like the most. Now, this can actually be done on, let's say you guys are planning a trip with your students or planning some activity, or what building to select, what hotel to select, whatever you want to use them to vote or survey. Let's say you want to not keep class for this day and have classes on a Saturday. You can even use this feature, right? Put the post, and then based on the amount of likes, right, you can say, all right, this person got the most likes, or this topic got the most likes, and let's use this. All right, I'm seeing some likes already. Everybody's picking Burger King, but I'm going to pick Wendy's, because to me, Wendy's burgers are just top tier. Or somebody else picked Wendy's as well. All right, so you guys are interacting on the Padlet. Awesome. Hope you're following me. Let's go back to the drawing board. So we covered one, interactive lesson plans. We looked at brainstorming and sharing ideas. We can also use the feature to conduct surveys and votes. Sorry. And then what about this one? Happy birthdays. Okay. My bad. 1 second. Let me go back to my gallery. I don't know it. Just left. There it is. I'm not spending too long on this, but let's say you have a student, it's their birthday, right? And we know most of us are using remote technologies now to access the classroom. Let's say a student lives in another island or another parish far away, and you just want to use a form to just wish them happy birthday. Use the same Padlet. And then students can actually post their names and just give a little one comment or a phrase, say something nice to a student, and just wish them a happy birthday. All right, that's a simple feature I'm showing you there. Here's a cool one. Next thing we can look at is something called the SWOT analysis. Now, I'm of the assumption that everyone know what is a SWOT analysis, right? So it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? And it's normally it's a technique used for assessing the 4 aspects of a business, a topic, yourself, whatever, you name it. What if you want to do that, right? As a lesson. So I took the time, found a nice one. Are you seeing the screen? Let me know if you're seeing the screen now. So here's a little SWOT analysis on the world's best drink, which is Red Bull. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, we're seeing the screen.
You're seeing the screen, awesome. So as I said, it's up to you how you want to design your Padlets, how you want to enhance your lessons. You can ask the students to do their own SWOT analysis, create their own Padlets, and send it to you, and then you present it in the class. Or you can, provide a topic, use it to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or something of a product, you name it. All right. So these are the strengths for the Red Bull. We know that it gives you wings. There's no weaknesses when it comes on to Red Bull, because it's the world's best drink. We know this. All right. Some of the opportunities when it comes on to Red Bull is that the third world is open up to the first world: sleep, deprived lifestyle. And we're going to need this energy drink to facilitate that. Some of the threats include 5-hour energy shots, right? And do not overuse this product. So I'm just giving you some examples again on how you can enhance your lesson. So you can, as I said, try to ask the students to create their own Padlet and use it for them to generate their SWOT analysis, right? You can even use it to develop their portfolios, or even your portfolio as a teacher. Let me go back to the drawing board again. So we just covered the SWOT analysis. And next one, as we said, it is so is this a software accessible? Or no, man, it is free. It's completely free. But as you know, when it comes down to freeness, they're going to give you some limitations. You're only allowed to create 3 Padlets at a time when you're using the free version. Once you get the paid versions, you have unlimited access. Also, if you're using the free version, you can actually bookmark other person's Padlets and actually interact with them. It doesn't count as you creating one. but it is free. It's open. You can check you can check the App Store or even Google and download it, or you can just use your desktop or laptop and just go on the web page, sign up, and try to incorporate it. Try to incorporate with it in your lessons. So we have number 6, which is the notice board. Right? We did say initially it is a bulletin board. Now, what do we use notice boards for? You can just drop that in chat. All right, for the interest of time. So we know a notice board is something that's normally attached to a wall to display notices or give you information about something. Now, what if I tell you that, let's say the institution wants to create their digital notice board, right? You can actually let the admin set up a notice board, put all the announcement, activities, links to social media, everything you can think of on this forum, and just set it up just that they can always have access and get updates about events coming up, right? When it's exam time, you name it. So let me show you a little sample. I just have it there. Are you seeing the screen? I know my sample is not the prettiest, but let me know if you're seeing the screen. Somebody can just say yes, sir. All right, I'll see a yes in chat. All right, so as I said, it can be used for your classroom. Let's say the teachers want to have their own notice board for their class. You can do that. Normally, we create WhatsApp groups or use some kind of other medium on our devices. Let's say we can create a nice digital notice board, and because Padlet is real time and always being updated, so once you put up something, it's going to update and update for everybody's devices. So simple notice board, you can even make an office notice board. Let's say you're in your company, or let's say you're in a department and you want to use it to just always update everybody in the department. Once they download the Padlet once they download the Padlet software, you can easily access the notice board and say, all right, we have meeting next week. Oh my God, we have trip coming up. You know that we have our big appraisal coming up. Put all of this on the notice board. Same thing applies for the different schools. So I recommend trying this out, right? Giving your students access to it, and then it has features. Let me just show you something. If you're ever wondering about malicious students, oh no, let me go on the next one. This is mine. Oh, you like how the vibrant? Okay. So you see right here, to filter profanity, and you can actually turn on the content filter to say, all right, once a user submits something, let's say you want the students to interact, it's going to ask you or prompt you that this person wants to present this, look at it first. And then it can filter profanity. So it has its own feature to basically check certain words and phrases together and eliminate them. All right. But yeah, you can use the notice board. Nice feature. Very wonderful feature for you guys as educators, or even in the corporate. All right. Next one, we know we can't leave this out. We also have we can use this feature for quizzes. And we know what a quiz is. It's normally a quick and informal assessment of students' knowledge. So why not place a little quiz? Let's say you cover the lesson on Monday and you just want to test their knowledge, right, on the next class. You can easily put up certain questions, put up a topic, and just put the questions there and then ask them to respond under different questions, just to check, right, or evaluate what they have learned since Monday. Let me show you a little quiz. I know everybody knows about Harry Potter, I presume, or watched the movie or read the books. So here are some questions. Are you guys seeing my screen? I always have to ask that.
Yes.
You see the screen? Awesome. So let's say you want to create a quiz. You put your topic there, put a little description right there, and then put the different questions. And then you ask the students, you set up the Padlet to allow them to basically comment, or you just give the questions there, let them write it down their book, send it to an email, via email, you name it. But I'm just giving you different ways to facilitate learning, teaching, assessment as well. So here's our Harry Potter quiz. So besides Hogwarts, what are the 2 other schools that participate in the Triwizard Tournament, and where are they located? Well, I don't know this, but I'm just giving you examples of questions. All right. Trying to wrap up soon. Here's the next one. We can use the Padlet, I keep saying tablet, as a mean of, hosting competitions in the classroom. Now, as I said, it's a great platform for competitions, and we can, let's say you go on a field-based learning experience with the students, and you ask them to carry their phones and take pictures, right? And let's do a picture competition to see who took the best pictures of everything and who learned the most things or most important things, basically on that field trip. And you can ask them to evaluate each other's posts, do a little score, right? And determine the winner of the best images, or to, hopefully you're following, but we learn better by seeing sometime. Here's an example. Let me know if you're seeing the screen. My bad. I always have to ask that because it takes a while to transition.
Yes, we're.
You're seeing it? Awesome. So just pretend, let's say we go to the Appleton Estate for a trip, and we want to host a nice picture competition, right? So you just put the students can just put their name, show all the pictures they took at the event, for example, and then you just turn on the feature to actually grade. So students, everyone can just grade, put their score, let's say 7 out of 10, and they continuously grade it. And then based on the scores everyone gets, right, we can determine the winner. Just giving an example of some kind of competition. So again, remember, there's a lot of ways to, enhance learning, and field-based learning is another method. So you take them out to different places, let them look at the different devices, equipment that the industry uses, if they allow them to take pictures, per se, and create a competition. All right. Almost finished. Here's a nice one I like, which is the About Me. All right, I see Renee saying that we've been learning about HR information systems, but this student learning information system, constant connection, right? Okay, so there's constant connection, and also makes it easier for management time. All right, I love that, I love that, I love that. Thank you, Renee, which is true. Now look at this one. So we all have our different, introduction phase or orientation or icebreaker activity. All right. As a teacher, let's say you want to introduce yourself to the students utilizing this platform. Go ahead, right? Set up your Padlet, put your years of experience, put on some things that you want them to know about yourself, right? You can even put songs you like, or what are you listening to, right? Just post the link to Spotify, let them play songs. You can put books that you like to read. Once you click it, it carries them to your bookshelf or carries to wherever you get your book. And this is just a simple activity again. Let's say you want the students to learn more about you, or if you want to flip it, let's say next week is the first class, right? You send them this picture about your Padlet and ask them to set it up. Or even on the first class, you show them Padlet, show them how to use it, and ask them, all right, for your homework, I want to know more about you now, since you know about me, right? Create your own Padlet, and tomorrow, we're going to spend about 30 minutes to an hour, right, learning about each other. And this allows creativity for the students to basically set up, right? And sometimes they're a bit scared to, talk to the teachers or talk to students. But if you have a virtual space, sometimes it can be easy for them and more comfortable for them to share more about them. And trust me, some of them don't know how to talk about themselves. But if you ask them to use the internet or some kind of other medium, you'd be surprised how they describe themselves. All right. So this is another way you can use Padlet. So use it as an icebreaker activity. Use it to introduce yourself as a teacher. You can even flip this and turn it into a resume setting, right? Let's say you want to create a resume. You can place the different points when you're teaching. So, all right, this is my years of experience. You put everything there. This is the qualifications I have now. I have images of the certificates if you want. But again, this tool is mainly about using graphics, right? Collaborating with different users just to present information, just to enhance teaching, learning, and even, what I said earlier, assessment. And we have one more left. Let's look at the drawing board again. And the last one is timeline. Oh, that looks like your resume, Casey. Awesome. So we have timeline, right? And this was The reason I made this one or took this one is that sometimes when you're teaching, you have some complex processes or even complex procedures to teach. And no matter how much you try with the students, then you could have talk all you want, they're not going to get it, right? And we know about the different types of learners. When it comes down to visual, kinesthetic, you name it. Yes, but need the same concept, right? But what if I tell you can use Padlet now to create something called a timeline, which shows you basically a stream of events, right? And how you'd want to segment the processes. So for example, we did one to talk about the butterfly. Let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yes.
The tool light, even come up with. All right, so it's there now. All right. So this is a timeline and a simple one talking about the life cycle of a butterfly. All right. So let's say you did bio in high school and you want them to learn about the different metamorphosis stages. You want them to learn about life cycles, the water cycle. You decide. You can even ask them to design it there. But using the timeline canvas on tablet, it's basically showing you a streak of events or an order or even different stages for something. Or as I said, you can use it for processes. So stage one, you see the end, you put a nice image there, talk about it, and you continue on the timeline and it progresses to the end. All right. And the last part would have been metamorphosis where they become the butterfly. So you have the pupa stage, the larva stage, you name it. But as I said, you just want to use different ways to enhance your learning, enhance students' learning, your teaching, and even how you assess them. And I think the timeline feature would be a great way to have some kind of interactive process cycle, whatever you want to call it, just to enhance how they understand the different concepts. And that is basically it for the 10. Let's look back at it. The 10 classroom uses I'm just giving you, all right, for Padlet. Let's go back a bit. So one, I showed you guys how to, create lesson plans or even integrate your lesson plans into Tablet and put all the lessons, activities, everything on one platform, right? Not saying you're going to become complacent and lazy, but sometimes you want a little break and you want to facilitate more learner engagement and self-learning as well. You want to let them try to do things by themselves, right? Or as a pair. So you set up your lesson plan, put everything you want them to do on one platform, show them the different steps, stages, what to read, what to do first, right? What to watch, and then they complete the lesson. All right. We looked at how to create brainstorming activities, ideas, you name it, and how to allow to basically facilitate discussions, right, in a specific forum. We can use it for surveys or even voting. Let's say you want to wish a student happy birthday, but we can't physically be with them. Let's use this forum and show them how much we appreciate them. Again, SWOT analysis, another concept you can look at. Normally, we might ask them to type it up on a paper or submit that SWOT analysis via email. Use Padlet, let them use an interactive screen, put their images, put what they like, their threats, their, you know what the SWOT analysis is, sorry. Use it as a notice board. I really like this feature, and I think schools can use it now to basically have a digital notice board that every student can have access to. Every student, teacher, everyone can access it and provide. Could this be used to create a vision board? Of course. Remember that it's very collaborative and you can add images, text, everything, place the vision board there, and then link it back to your learning management site and say, click this to go and see the vision board. All right. So it can be physical or digital. So that's a nice idea. I can add that to my thing to create vision boards. But as I said, schools can use it. The teachers can use a notice board. Departments at the workplace, set up their notice board and just place whatever you want users to get information on our updates. Use it to facilitate quizzes. As I mentioned, competitions, when you go on field-based learning activities, that introductory part of the first day you're going to teach the students, you can use it to introduce yourself on the Padlet, or ask them to create their own Padlet and introduce themselves as an assignment. And then the timeline, where sometimes it's very difficult to, when you're teaching certain topics and you have complex processes, break them down on tablet, put them into different stages, and use the timeline feature to explain it a little better. And that's basically it. Do we have any questions? I can take about 5 minutes worth of questions.
Right.
But thank you for joining. And I'll hand over to Mr. Gordon.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bernard, for that excellent presentation. And I do hope that the knowledge shared can be used for the benefit of our learners. We are open to answer 1 or 2 questions. We intend to keep within the time limit of 1 hour, so we can accommodate questions, but we will end at 1. So is there any question or any comment you guys may have? Any thoughts you may have? All right, thank you, Renee. Renee is stating that it's an excellent presentation. Thank you.
It indeed was. I enjoyed the presentation and I learned a lot earlier.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hughes. So this is going to become our regular link up on a Wednesday between 12 and 1, so you can save it as a lunch date. And we intend to continue to raise interesting topics and interesting concepts in TVET. One person is asking for the recording. I'm going to give you how we're going to do that in a bit. But join us again next week, same time, same place, and it will be the same link for another in our webinar series. And I think next week we should either be looking at TVET 5.0 and repositioning or reimagining TVET for sustainable economic growth. If we are not doing that one, we're doing teaching strategies in TVET. So either way, it is going to be an interesting session. And we encourage you to invite a friend as we continue to share best practices so that together we can make Jamaica the place to live, work, and indeed raise children. What we'll do now, we will allow you to put if you wish, you can put your email addresses in the chat. And what we will do is once we post the video on our YouTube channel later tonight, we will give you the link to that so you can gain access to it and you can watch it or share it with your colleagues. All right, so you can go ahead and type your emails if you would like to get the Google link for the channel. And we thank you once more for taking time out to be part of our first in the series of webinars. We're not going to start and stop. We will be going and going and going like an Energizer battery. All right. So until next week, same time, same place. Do have yourselves a wonderful, innovative weekend and start using these things in your classes, in your meetings. And you see where you can even use this in your corporate online meetings, where you could get feedbacks and planning and coordinating all those things. So thank you once more from GOMEX Institute of Technology, your place for high-level TVET training programs. All the best and see you next week, same time, same place.
Thank you.
All the best. Goodbye.